The Karate Kid is like, I would say like top 10 favorite movies.
Yeah, like I've read a bunch of like screenwriting books, how to write screenplays and stuff. And there was one where it cited Karate Kid as like the movie. Like, this is the movie to study if you want to write screenplays. And they're like, we're not necessarily saying this is the greatest movie or whatever, but maybe it is, but it's got all the elements that, like, when you're trying to put together a screenplay and sell a screenplay, it's got all the elements and the structure and the timing. Like, everything is so perfect. So if you can make a movie, if you can write a screenplay that kind of hits all the elements the way this does, you're sailing.
The first time I saw this was on, once again, like The Goonies. It was recorded off of television on the NBC Monday Night Movie. I remember the whole like intro. It's like the network television premiere of The Karate Kid, and I got goosebumps. I was crying.
Goulardi is the voice.
Tonight, 8/7 Central, The Karate Kid. P.S. My son is into directing.
Yeah, wait till you see his. He's been making some great home movies with our Super 8 camera. And wait until you see what he comes up with next.
He's a mega talent. Like,
cold drink. Don't you love that?
In high school, we had a vending machine that said cold drinks on it. Because it just said cold drinks. We thought that was the fucking funniest thing in the world. And like, we would try to draw attention to it. Nobody gave a shit. It just said cold drinks on the vending machine.
When I saw this movie, I saw it in the theater.
Oh,
and I remember seeing the poster, like being in the theater and seeing like, before it came out, seeing like the cardboard, sort of stand-up things of like movies coming soon. I remember seeing that, and I was like, okay. And I was, just learning to read around this. So it was like the Karate Kid.
We had, for some reason, laying around, I was probably in like, wasn't even kindergarten. There's, you remember the Columbia House things where you would get the stamps with the movie posters on? Well, I had I thought it was the Karate Kid. It was the poster for Back to the Future, and because he's doing like kicking his leg out, like I thought he was kicking like a karate kick, and it was really tiny. And I was like, "Mom, the Karate Kid or whatever," and he's like getting out of the car.
Yeah, he's kind of, at that size, you could kind of mistake that hair, that
he's
the Michael
throwing
J. Fox
his leg out a little bit, like. This is one of my, like, just influential movies.
Yeah.
Like, at the beginning, when he's going through that gate, when he kicks the gate, when he's going, like, at the apartment for the first time, I was like, it's really smart. Like, karate, you can use it for, like, different things.
Opening doors.
Opening doors and stuff. One of my all-time favorite film performances, fucking Pat Morita crushes it in this. Like, I'm like... I was crying like 5 times watching this movie. Like,
and like Mr. Miyagi has like the coolest backyard. It's like this.
It's
this iconic, like super cool backyard. And then like when my aunt got married, like when we met, like the guy who was going to be her husband and stuff, he had this like super cool backyard, and we were like, he's got like the Mr. Miyagi backyard.
That's what, dude. When I see like elevated, like I thought the same. When somebody has a porch and then it drops down like that,
like trees and like a little rock garden and stuff, we were like, oh man, like this guy, it's like Mr. Miyagi's place.
But like, I was obsessed with this. Do the same thing. Remember when Daniel was like in his apartment looking at like that Black Belt magazine? When I would go to Walden Books, I would open the Black Belt magazine and try to like waiting for my mom to pick me up, being like, maybe I can learn some moves like real quick to try to like get some moves in.
Black Belt magazine, Soldier of Fortune magazine, very 80s stuff. And like, and I think that's part of like what makes this movie so great is like, it's so identifiable. Like, it's like perfect for like the target audience. Cause like, you relate to him and you do it. You kind of imagine yourself in the, and like you wanted superpowers too. Like you wanted to be able to, do all that cool stuff. And like you see him sort of get there by degrees.
When he does the wax on, wax off, paint the fence, I was like thinking like, is there anything I'm doing in my own life that like I might be like learning by accident?
Yeah.
If it was me, it'd be like when I fight Johnny at the end, I have the move called sit on the toilet. They're like, sit on the toilet, fetal position.
That was one of the things they'd cite in this like screenwriting book was about like kind of like reversals, where like one of the reversals is like the more he's doing this stuff for Mr. Miyagi, the more like it seems like he's just being scammed.
Yeah.
And then there's like this turning point
I
where
love
it's
that
like,
part.
oh, it's not a scam. You've been sort of secretly learning karate without even realizing it.
That's what I was like. I was thinking like, am I learning? And, and my brothers. So we were so obsessed. We there wasn't like a karate like in the 80s. If you opened a karate dojo, you had the probability of becoming like a multi-millionaire. Like
it was like opening up a sports car store, you know.
We took like taekwondo. Didn't learn anything. I mean, it was a fun time. I got the you know, have the gi and everything. But cool. Like, I remember the one time my brothers and I were fucking like fooling around before the we were
misusing your karate.
We were misusing the karate. We were dicking around like in the studio before the thing, and my brother like knocked into me. Or I thought I knocked into him. I can't remember, but one of our asses hit the drywall and left an ass print in it. and the instructor was like, "It's fine." Everything's fine. Like he was like ready to blow his fucking stack.
Like, how do you leave a butt print? Like did somebody shit their pants?
There was like,
and just left this like brown infinity symbol on the wall.
Now I'm gonna shit my pants during the Total Recall show. Yeah, I left an ass print. They're like, he's like used the ass jar or whatever. Yeah, like he knocked into me and my butt like broke the drywall. Like, but there was this one kid that was stretching his leg and he pulled his he farted while he was trying to pull his leg up.
Yeah, that's what they don't show you is like how bad like the karate studio smells. And by the way, I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics. I Am Stan, a graphic biography of the legendary Stan Lee. And coming soon from Image Comics, Jack Kirby's Star Warriors, starring Adam Starr and the Solar Legion. And all three of those books are available for pre-order by following the pre-order links in the show notes below.
I'm at Zeoli.
And please follow me on Twitter at Tom Scioli and on Instagram at Tom_Scioli. And support my Patreon. Go to patreon.com, search Tom Scioli.
Follow the show on Instagram at Total_Recall_show.
So yeah, it's Karate Kid. We're talking about Karate Kid.
We're in the Total Recall dojo.
Now, I'm shocked we didn't. Like, I'm shocked the first Karate Kid movie we reviewed isn't like, you know, Karate Kid 3 or
I know,
you know what I mean? Like,
we went right to the fucking source.
First one, yeah.
And Pat Morita, like, I was like thinking like, oh, if a Mr. Miyagi type character would like fall into my life, I'd be able to, because like in school, there's always somebody that knows karate.
Right.
They'd always like, you'd hear like, people would say they know karate and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, there'd be a lot of sort of like urban legends about karate. And I remember hearing about like a guy who like taught karate down at the train track. They're like, you don't want to go to one of those schools. You won't learn shit at one of those strip mall schools. You got to go. There's this guy down by the train tracks who gives karate lessons. You got to, you know.
Pat Morita, he had the same treatment as, remember Michael Keaton when he was playing Batman? They're like, he's a stand-up comic. Couldn't do...
Yeah, because Pat Morita, he's playing this... Yeah, he's playing this like very... you know, austere, very, very quiet, very solemn kind of character who kicks ass. But yeah, like he's stand-up
comedy,
stand-up comedian. And yeah, if you watch Sanford and Son, he was on there. If you watched Happy Days, he was Arnold on Happy Days. But his comedy background comes into play here because you can tell there's like an underlying comedic, you know,
very funny. Like I was like, I'm gonna fucking like zero in on this time, and like his comedy timing is great. Like when he chops the beer bottle tops off. Remember, we had a Larry Drake, Dr. Giggles.
Yeah.
He cuts the beer bottle and he's like, "Did you ever do that before?" And I always forget that he's like, "Nope."
Yeah,
it was the first time chopping the beer bottles down. I was like, huh. Watching this, I'm like, it's weird. Elizabeth Shue must have thought it was weird, like, you know, being with a guy who was 15. I looked up, he's older than her.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he's 21. He looks like he's 15.
So you got Ralph Macchio, who, like, now in Cobra Kai, looks like he might be, like, 8 years older than he is here. You know?
I know. I was like, man, he's like too young. He's playing older, and I'm like, oh yeah, Jesus, he's 21 in this movie.
Yeah, but he's just
looks like he's 10.
Yeah, I mean, he he looks like a scarecrow, basically. Like he looks like clothes that have like some broomsticks inside and a little bit of hay, not much else.
That's why I was like, oh my god, I can do this. He's like looks like a stack of dimes or whatever.
Yeah, he's really good in this, and it is like, every movie's like a rip-off of like whatever was the hit the season before or whatever, and it's like, okay, Rocky. It's like, let's make Rocky for kids, and again, like you had other things like that. You had Meatballs and you had stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, this is like, what if Rocky's nephew, moves out to California, and Ralph Macchio? It's like, if they can figure out what makes Ralph Macchio like at 25 look like he's 12 and at 60 or whatever he is now look like he's 30, like that might be a good thing. Like I think that would be in demand.
I'm
they can
into
figure
that.
out what that is. Yeah,
he does great acting in this, especially when he's injured. Like at the end when like they're carrying him away, his eyes are like really big, and like when he's hurt.
We also get like the East Coast West Coast rivalry because he's like from Jersey or something, and then he's showing up in like California, and it's all these like blonde surfer dudes and stuff. Have you seen any Cobra Kai?
I have not.
That's so funny
yet.
because watching it, like I can't help but think of Cobra Kai, and like Cobra Kai, they've strip mined every frame of this movie, and so like there isn't like a line or a throwaway thing that doesn't have like some payoff or callback or a payoff. And some, like, I don't even want to say because it's like nice surprises and stuff.
Yeah, I know nothing.
But it's not like, I'm just like,
God.
some of the, like, I'm just like, especially the, get him a body bag.
I was just about to say, that is in the Total Recall Hall of Fame for top 5 ADR lines of all time. Yeah. It's like off screen and barely audible. He's like, get him a body bag.
The way they call back get him a body bag in Cobra Kai, like, don't take a sip of anything before that comes up, because you're gonna blow it. Like it's so ridiculous and kind of cool too, but it's like so ridiculous and crazy.
And also, like, I was fucking zeroing in and I'm like, oh my god, Martin Kove is not on screen very much.
No, he's not, but a great presence.
I thought he was fucking like second build in this.
Yeah.
He's in it for like a few moments in this first.
Now, this is also like, there's the turning point. So it is this very like contained world up to a point where you have that like shitty apartment building, and then you have like the school, and then you have Mr. Miyagi's house and stuff. And then when the turning point happens where he realizes Mr. Miyagi's not like a con artist, he's not ripping him off or getting free work out of him, but that he's training him for karate, then everything opens up. They're at the beach, and it's like wide open, and
Dude, this scene coming up, I get goosebumps like every time when he's like sees him in the distance on that like thing.
Yeah,
I'm getting chills now. Like when he like gets out and sees him like
far away. They have like the Zamfir pan flute playing.
I get so excited. I love this fucking movie.
Like I saw this movie and thought I knew karate.
Me too. Tom, there's the one scene where he's in the fucking school with the camo pants on. I wore them at like 4th grade. I had fucking like camo pants.
Well, that's the other thing is like the crane technique.
Tom.
It's like invent for your movie a like superpower karate technique that like any kid can entertain. Can emulate. You just kind of like switch one foot to the other.
I was doing it like 3. Oh jeez. Oh my god. Like it's white. It's like and
that's a body double, right? Like we're far enough away. That's not Pat Morita doing, because Pat Morita would talk about how like in that, like he does not know an ounce of karate. He can't fight. He can't do it. And like in the scenes where Mr. Miyagi kicks ass, you do see it, because it's like he's like very stiff. He's not really doing much, and then the camera pulls back, and you see like a silhouette, doing like backflips.
Especially when he climbs the fence and beats their ass when they're in like the skeleton costumes. And Pat Morita said he based the character for Mr. Miyagi off of his uncle.
Okay, and then when Daniel shows up at Mr. Miyagi's place, it's kind of junky, kind of run down. And then, you get that other view of like the backyard, and then that space opens up.
And then a dream too where it's like, somebody's just
there's Larry Drake. Benny from LA Law, Dr. Giggles, and
Durant from Darkman, which, I can't wait till Darkman this week.
Is he still alive?
I'm not sure.
I was going to say, like, I never see him on any of these, like, Comic-Con kind of things, so...
I feel like he turned 100 during this movie.
Okay, yeah.
There was a joke in, like, I was reading in the Mad magazine or Crack magazine, there was a joke where, like, Durant always cuts people's fingers off.
Yeah, with a cigar
It was something about he's, like, cut somebody's dick off with a cigar. I think it was in the Mad Darkman or Cracked Darkman.
We're going to be seeing Darkman.
I fucking can't wait.
We're going to be seeing Darkman in the theater. And then Elizabeth Shue.
Allie.
And she, like...
She picks him up. He's like 20 pounds soaking wet. Also, when you go to the Cobra Kai dojo, haven't the guys looked in the mirror? They're like, our geese are like evil. Like,
we're the bad guys.
Like, they're like, wait a minute. Are we the bad guys? In the boat. I did want to do the crane work in the Mr. Mia. He got an Academy Award a nomination for Best Supporting Actor for this.
Yeah.
I fucking love Mr. Miyagi. I was like, if only like somebody would just fall into my, like, where you teach me karate.
Yeah, we got to do our Cobra Kai, because I think there's like one more season of Cobra Kai coming up. So then you can like binge whenever that comes out. You can binge the whole thing, and then we'll do like a Cobra Kai mega episode. But Cobra Kai's been such a ride. Like I've been loving it, and like the first episode hooks you way in, and then and just the whole journey of the series. And then there's even points where you think, like, maybe I don't care about this show anymore. And then it, like, ropes you right back in.
I can't wait. Like, so this will be season 4, you said?
I guess. 5. Yeah, I don't know what the... Yeah, but it's, like, I'm up to date, just, like, waiting for that final season. And, yeah, like, I almost, like, maybe set up a camera and film yourself watching Cobra Kai, because some of the stuff is like again, you're gonna be spitting all over.
Like my brothers, we would do the thing where we like rubbed our hands together and try to like heat up.
And the idea that you clap your hand and it'll make this loud like ear burster pop, and then you rub your hands together, and then they'll like and then you'll be able to like heal people. The other one is like Spock in Star Trek, that like you can like
touch somebody. Well, in all of movies, like one of my if they're like, what's your 5 favorite moments? It would be when he's in the locker room and fucking when Pat Morita claps his hands together and it cues up with that sound. It's like
the music and everything lines up, and you think about like the budget. Like, this movie doesn't, like, probably, like, cost nothing to make. But it's like...
It was a smash.
And that's the other thing in this screenwriting book is, like, don't... especially, like, if you're reading this book, you haven't sold a screenplay yet. Yeah. So, you're trying to sell your first screenplay. Don't create some kind of epic. Create something where they'll look at it and be like, oh, we could film this,
Yeah. What is it? Refusal to call and stuff like that?
Call to adventure.
Don't you want to hang out with them?
This is another one of those like snobs versus slobs kind of stories.
I love it. Also, it's kind of like, once again, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Remember when he's like, where's the basement? And then the whole crowd laughs at him.
Yeah, he gets like spaghetti dumped on it. And he's wearing like all white. He's got his red jacket, his like James Dean jacket, but then he's wearing all white to make that spaghetti sauce like really show up.
In the early 80s, red hooded sweatshirts with zippers were having a moment, like with Elliot and stuff.
Now, the other thing, like, you're that Reseda boy. Like, like Reseda, like I've never been to Reseda. I don't know what it is, but it's like I like, like it's and maybe Reseda is like a super awesome area, and it's just like for the sake of this movie. But like
they're shitting on Reseda. Also, like, I mean, you wait outside. Don't cut it through the kitchen or whatever. Yeah, and then he gets the spaghetti.
And it's like, he's, an Italian American, and then his, like, humiliation comes with this, like, big spaghetti sauce. Hey, there's that spaghetti sauce guy.
his finishing instead of the crane, it's the noodle slapper, or it's like the noodle arm thing, or the rigatoni.
The pizza throw. You throw the pizza dough in the air and you kick the guy. Yeah, look at this. Look at it, because he's got the white slap. He's wearing, like, Pete Townsend's white jumpsuit from Woodstock. You know, and
it's on his, how did they get on his ass?
It's like head to toe spaghetti.
He's like,
yeah, everybody's laughing. I like there's the guy way in the far background who's like the waiter. He's cracking up.
He's like, Mr. Miyagi's gonna teach me the rigatoni ripper or whatever.
Yeah. You twirl a thing of dough, throw it in the air, and then catch it. You know.
Yeah, it's full on Italian. He's like, he punches Johnny in the groin and he spits two meatballs roll out of his mouth.
Say enough about it. And it's got like the, you know, like Rocky or whatever, the big like athletic climax and
Tom cues right up with it. Like, I'm crying at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny did a lot of horrible things in this movie, and it's a quick turnaround where he's like, you could take this trip.
Yeah, but that's another like element for your screenplay too, of like, you know, earning the respect.
You don't get this really with the other sequels. Like, such a sad backstory for Mr. Miyagi. It's really
gets there and you know, educational. Like, you know, like I didn't know about any of that stuff, you know, prior to this movie.
When he lays him down in bed when he's like drunk sleeping, like, this is a fucking great performance from Pat.
Mr. Miyagi gives him like the gi that has like the bonsai tree symbol on the back, you know, because like, and the bonsai tree as this like as this like thematic element throughout it. Like, when I was a kid, I was like, that gi sucks. It's got, that tree is so fucking wimpy. It should be like a firebird, a tiger. It should be, it should be a skull like this. But this that's too wimpy. That's wimpy. Like, you don't want that.
Cobra Kai.
Yeah, Cobra Kai. That's a gi you want. You don't. But again, like, now I understand. It's like, yeah, he's the good guy. He's not gonna have
like a skull.
Yeah, like he's not gonna have a snake eating a baby on the back.
He's like, this is badass. He has an elbow macaroni on his. He's got a pot of boiling water.
He's on the back of Daniel's gi. He's got that drawing of the guy who makes pizza that's on every pizza box in Pittsburgh. That cartoon. Yeah.
It's a pot with stiff spaghetti in it. He's like, it's a jar of rag.
Yeah.
He's like, like, Mr. Miyagi, you shouldn't have. He's like, it's called the ZD Blast or whatever.
It is like, this is such a great movie. I love this movie. I watched the sequels when I was a kid. I didn't see Karate Kid 3 because it just sounded too depressing that he was going to like turn against Mr. Miyagi. So like, I didn't want anything to do with that. But like, you know, I loved this movie as a kid. And the whole Cobra Kai thing, it's so satisfying at this point in life to have this thing that perfectly like sort of dovetails with like this thing from your childhood that you thought was like long done, like toast, like over. I'm happy for William Zabka. I'm happy for
Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio, you know, because those guys would just be like, they are what Cameo was made for. Is guys
Hell
like
yeah!
that. So it's nice that they have some, you know, something going on. You know,
that's great. Like, I can't wait, Tom. I'm so excited. And like, you know, we do have 2 and 3 still. They're
no, we got the whole thing. Like, do 2, 3.
Oh,
let's do the next Karate Kid. Let's do the remakes. Yeah.
The next Karate Kid is Hilary Swank.
Hilary Swank. $1 Million Baby.
$1 Million Baby herself. And Pat Morita, I think, is in that one as well.
Right, yeah. It's kind of cool in retrospect because it was like, yeah, Hilary Swank as like a child actor. But then, you know, now it's like, you know,
Academy
Award. Yeah, then it's like got a little more cachet in retrospect. Yeah.
And
yeah, I wonder if like you know, if they like re-released new Karate Kid after $1 Million Baby and it's like Academy Award winner, you know.
It's on the top bill, it'd be like Academy Award winner Hilary Swank, Academy Award nominee Pat Morita.
You would see that during like the VHS days. Like, there was this one movie starring Michelle Pfeiffer, like on the VHS, it says Michelle Pfeiffer, a big picture of Michelle Pfeiffer or whatever. And then you watch it and it was this like old TV movie starring Lindsay Wagner where like Michelle Pfeiffer shows up for like 2 minutes in a certain, you know.
Yeah, like in retrospect, they like dig the 5th build person and push them to the top.
I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics. I Am Stan, a graphic biography of the legendary Stan Lee. And coming soon from Image Comics, Jack Kirby's Star Warriors, starring Adam Starr and the Solar Legion. All 3 of those books are available for pre-order by following the pre-order link in the show notes below.
I'm Matt Zeoli.
And please follow me on Twitter at Tom Scioli, on Instagram at Tom_Scioli, and support my Patreon. Go to patreon.com and search Tom Scioli.
Follow the show on Instagram at total_recall_show.
And yeah, we'll see you next time for Karate Kid 2, Karate Kid 3, all the other Karate Kids, and then Cobra Kai. It's, you know, you're going to get something out
It's
of it.
like, now if you'll excuse me, Sensei Kreese made me do 60 knuckle push-ups.
Cobra Kai is like balm for the soul. It's so, you know, it gives you hope for life in general.
Oh my God.
It's really great.